Gino Simone.
Hello everybody and welcome to the channel. We got some 1961 Milwaukee Braves. It is June 27th here, and we got the Braves traveling to St. Louis to take on the Cardinals. Let's take a look at the visiting Milwaukee Braves starting lineup. Leading off, playing center field, Gino Simone. Batting second, playing second, Frank Boland. Batting third, playing third, Eddie Matthews. Batting fourth, playing right field, Hank Aaron. Batting fifth, playing left field, is Frank Thomas. Batting sixth, playing first base, is Joe Adcock. Batting seventh and doing the catching is Joe Torre. Batting eighth, playing short, is Roy McMillan. Batting ninth, doing the pitching, is Bob BUHL. And your hometown St. Louis Cardinals starting lineup. Leading off, playing center field, Carl Warwick. Batting second, playing first base, Bill White. Batting third, playing third, Ken Boyer. Batting fourth, playing left field, is Stan the Man Musial. Batting fifth, playing right field, is Charlie James. Batting sixth, doing the catching, is Tim McCarver. Batting seventh, playing short, is Alex Grahams. Batting eighth and playing second base is Bob Lills. And batting ninth, doing the pitching for the Cardinals, is Curtis Simmons. Let's get down to the game, folks, and get this one started. Hey, Beatles, you going to be on later tonight? And here's the pitch to Gino. And that's going to be a fly ball in the center field. Warwick's out there patrolling the day, and he makes the play. One out here in St. Louis. That brings up Frank Boland now. See if Frank can get on base for the big boys. And that's a swing and a miss, strike three. Frank goes down on strikes. Cool. Looking forward to it. All right, that brings up Eddie Matthews with nobody on and 2 outs now. And that ball is popped up on the infield. And Bob's calling everybody off. He's near the mound. Lills makes the play. And that's a quick 1-2-3 inning for the Braves. Hey, Tim, we got Warwick, White, and Boyer due up here in the bottom of the first. And right away, Carl gets on with a base hit in the left field. Cardinals making noise right away. Brings up Bill White now with a runner on at first, nobody out. And that ball is hit back to the mound. Bob's going to spin, fire that ball down to second with McMillan covering, but it won't be enough time to double up Frank White. Bob White, Bill White, we'll get it right. And that's one out with White down at first for Ken Boyer. And that's going to be ball four. Ken's going to take his base. We got first and second now with only one out. And we all know who's up now. It's the man, Stan the Man. And that ball is hit in the center field. Not deep enough to get White over the third as Gino fires it in. So it's 2 outs now, first and second. White down at second. Boyer down at first for James. And that swung on and missed, strike three. So Bob gets out of the inning with nobody scoring. We go to the top of the second. It's tied up, 0-0. We got Aaron, Thomas, and Adcock due up here for the Bravos. And that's going to be a base hit in the right field. Hank goes the other way with it, drives it out there. He gets on with a leadoff single. And that'll bring up Frank Thomas. See if Frank can do some damage here in the second. And that ball is popped up on the infield. Who wants this one? Looks like Graham's calling for it out there at shortstop. He's going to make the play. And that'll be one out here in the second. Brings up the Joes. First one is Adcock. See if he can do anything. And that's going to be a infield hit. How about Joe Adcock turning on the afterburners for a fleet-footed first baseman that he is? Joe Adcock beats the throw down to first. We got first and second now for Joe Torre. So the Braves making some noise here in the second. And that's not what you want to see if you're a Braves fan. That ball's hit down the Grams at short, over to Lillis, over to White. That's your 6-4-3 inning double play, folks. So now we go to the bottom of the second. It's still nothing. We got McCarver, Grams, and Lillis due up here for the Cardinals. Bottom part of the order. And that's a swing and a miss, strike three. Tim goes down swinging. Brings up Alex now. And he gets a hold of this, drives that ball into the gap in right field. Aaron goes over, gets it after it rolls against the wall, fires it in. And that's going to be a double, folks. Grams is standing down at second with one out for Lillis. See if Lillis can drive him in here and get the Cardinals on the board. And he most certainly does as he shoots that ball over to second base. Frank Boland's head in the right field. Aaron throws the ball in at second. And the Cardinals are up 1-0. See what CURT's hitting on the year here. He's hitting 200. We're going to let him hit, folks. Ain't no stinking button here. We're going to let him hit. Doing well, 200 hitter right now. We don't need no stinking DH. And guess what? Bob BUHL didn't want to pitch to him. He walks his counterpart. I don't know how smart that was. And we got first and second and still only one out for Carl Warwick. He singled his first time up, folks. And that's what the Braves is looking for. That's Bob's best friend. That ball's hit down to Frank, over to the McMillan, over to Adcock, 4-6-3 double play. The Braves get out of the inning with only one run scoring. We go to the top of the third. Cardinals 1, Braves nothing. Got the bottom part of the order due up here for the Braves. McMillan, Bob BUHL, and Gino. Let's see if they can get something started here in the third. And that's hit in the center field. Warwick's on his war horse, and he makes the catch. Excuse me, one out. Brings up Bob BUHL. See if Bob can help his own cause here. Nope, that's a swing and a miss, strike three. Counterpart didn't treat him as good. Brings up Gino. Gino's 0 for 1. He flew out his first time up. And he's going to hit that ball down the second. Easy play for Bob. Over the White. And that'll end the inning. The Braves go down in order, folks. To the bottom of the third we go. We got the heart of the lineup due up here. White, Boyer, and Musial. Here's Bill. And that ball 4. Bob's having some control problems out there today, folks. I believe that's his third walk. Sure is his third walk. So that's going to bring up Ken Boyer now. See if the Braves can turn 2 again here and get out of this mess. Not that way, they're not, because that ball's lifted in the center field. Gino's charging. Can't get to it, and that'll be a base hit. White will stop at second. That brings up the man again with runners in scoring position. Here's the pitch. Nobody out to stand. And that's what they're looking for. Stan don't run as well as he used to. That ball's hit down to McMillan, over to Frank Boland, over to Joe Adcock. 6-4-3 double play. Bill White will end up down at third there with 2 outs for James now. See what happens here. Can Bob get out of another mess here after the double play? And yes, he does. That ball is hit down to Frank at second. Over to Adcock. Cardinals leave one. We go to the top of the fourth. It's still a one-run game, folks. We got Frank Bowling, Eddie Matthews, and Hank Aaron due up here for the Braves. Can they get on the board here with these guys? And Frank pops that ball up in the infield. Grams calls everybody off, makes the catch, 1 out. That brings up Eddie Matthews. Eddie's 0 for 1. He popped up the second his first time up. And he drives that ball into right field, folks. Gets a base hit, pulled that ball. That brings up Hank Aaron. He got a single his first time up. Can he do it again here and keep this inning going? No, he lifts that ball in the left field, and Stan the man's out there. He camps under it for the second out of the inning. Eddie's still down to first now for Frank Thomas. Frank is 0 for 1. He popped up the short his first time up. And he hits that ball down the short on the ground this time. Sorry, down the second. Over to second goes Lillis. And that ends the inning. And the Braves leave one on. We go to the fourth. It's still a one-run game, folks. We got McCarver, Grams, and Lillis due up here for the Cardinals. Here's the pitch to Tim. And he gets a hold of this, folks. Drives it down the third baseline. And for a catcher, he's got damn good speed. He makes it in the second easy with a stand-up double to start this fourth inning. Carver's having a great series. Remember, he had a 3-run homer in the previous game. Here's the pitch to Graham. And that is hit down the first. Adcock's got it. He tosses it over to Bob covering, but Tim gets down the third with 1 out now for Bob Lillis. The Braves are going to pull the infield in. It looks like they're going to have trouble scoring today against CURT. And it doesn't work out, folks, because that's a base hit over second. And that's going to score McCarver. And the Cardinals take a 2-0 lead now. And still only 1 out here. Like I say, we're going to let Simmons, we're going to let him swing away, folks. He walked his first time up, and we dropped the dice. So now it's an official baseball game after dropping the dice. And look at that. That is a base hit. Like I say, CURT, heck of a hitter. Drives that ball in the right field. Bob turns on the burners. He's going to make it down the third. And it's first and third, folks, with only 1 out. And again, the Braves are going to have to pull the infield in. They don't think they can double up Carl Warwick. Here's the pitch. And they're not going to double him up, that's for sure, because he gets a hold of this one, folks. That ball is deep. That ball is back. That ball is high. And that ball is long going over the left field fence. Home run, Carl Warwick. And just like that, folks, this game is 5-0. Sure. Bob Buhl shaking his head out there. He can't get out of this fourth inning. 1 out now with Bill White up. The bullpen is starting to get active, but that's a foul out to the catcher. So that's 2 outs now in this fourth inning. Here's Ken Boyer now. See what happens here with Boyer. That ball is hit down to second. Easy play for Frank Thomas. Over to Joe Adcock, but the damage is done. A 3-run shot and another run. It's 4 runs this inning, folks. We get to the top of the fifth. It's 5-0 Cardinals. We got Adcock, Torrey, and McMillan due up here against CURT. Here's the pitch to Joe. Joe gets a hold of this one. That ball is back, and gone. Joe Adcock with a solo shot in the right field, folks. Puts the Braves on the board. It's now 5-1. Here's Joe Torre up now. He's 0 for 1. And he hits that ball down the short. Alex got it. Fires over the white. 1 out. Hey, Ken. And that brings up Roy McMillan now with 1 out, nobody on. And that ball is hit down the short. Another easy play for Grams. They might want to pick on somebody else this inning. And Bob's not a bad hitting pitcher, but 5-1. Just gave up that long ball. We're going to let him bat here. And he swings and misses, strike 3. Bob goes down. The Braves do score 1 on the Joe Adcock home run. We go to the bottom of the 5th. Milwaukee Braves 1, St. Louis Cardinals 5. We got the man due up, James and McCarver for the Cardinals. Musial is 0 for 2. See what happens here. And that's going to be a pop-up on the infield. Matthews calls everybody off, makes the play. 1 out here in the 5th. Here's Charlie James. He's 0 for 2. He struck out and grounded out the 2nd. And that ball is going to be hit down to 2nd again. Frank Boland's up with it. Quick 2 outs. Brings up Tim McCarver, who doubled his last time up. He's 1 for 2. And that is going to be a base hit in the left field. McCarver is having a good series against the Braves. He's down at first again. Brings out Alex. Alex is 1 for 2 with the double also. 2 outs here. And that ball is hit down the short. Roy will go the quick way over to 2nd. And out to win the inning, and they leave 1 on. We go to the top of the 6th. It's 5-1 Cardinals. We got the top of the order due up here for the Braves there. Time to do something here. Here's Gino. He's 0 for 2, hitting .229 on the year. And he gets a hold of this pitch off of CURT. And he drives that ball in the right field for a base hit. Nice piece of hitting by Gino. He goes the other way, gets on. That's what the Braves need, some base runners. Here's Frankie. He's 0 for 2, hitting .305 on the year. And he drives that ball in the right field, folks. And Gino's going to stamp her on down the 3rd. And just like that, the Braves are making some noise, folks. 1st and 3rd, and nobody out for the big boys. Here's Eddie. We got Eddie Matthews. He's 1 for 2, hitting .309 on the year with 17 home runs and 56 RBIs. And that ball is driven in the right field. Frank Boland's going to end up down at 3rd, and we still got 1st and 3rd. How about this? The Bravos making a comeback here. Got 1st and 3rd now for the Hammer. And it's a 5-2 ball game. 1 swing of the bat here, and this game's tied up, folks. Cardinals come out and talk to CURT. He was cruising through the first 5 innings. He says he can get the Hammer. The Hammer is 1 for 2, hitting .349 on the year with 15 home runs and 49 RBIs. And he does get the Hammer. That ball is hit down to 2nd. Bob's up with it. He fires over the 2nd with Grams covering over to White. A run will score. No RBI for Hank. That'll clear the bases. It's now 5-3 Braves. And Frank Thomas is up now with nobody on. Here's the pitch to Frank. And that ball is lifted in the right field. James is out there, makes the catch near the line, and that's the end of the inning. Oh, is he again? Cool. Yeah, Matthews is one of the best third basemen ever. I agree with you. Yep. We go to the bottom of the sixth. We got Lillis, Simmons, and Warwick due up here. It's a two-run game now after that two-run inning. Here's the pitch to Lillis, and that's a ball four. Don't need that if you're a Braves fan. You just started to get back in the game and you walk the leadoff batter. And again, we're letting CURT swing away. He's 1 for 1. He's singled and he's walked. And he pops this one up. Now he hits it on the ground down the third. Matthews is up with it, fires over to first. Bob will head down the second, though. Productive out by Simmons. Here comes Warwick. He's 2 for 3 today with that 3-run home run, folks. And that ball is hit out in the left field. And Frank Thomas misjudges that, lets that ball get by him, folks. Not a very good play. And that's going to score Bob from second. So you got Carl down at first, and it's a 6-2, 6-3 ball game now. Sure. Walking a guy in and air, not what you want to see. That brings up Bill White now with 1 out and Warwick down at first. And that ball's lifted in the left field. Frank makes the catch this time, but the damage is done. We got 2 outs. Brings up Ken Boyer. Ken is 1 for 2 today. And that ball is hit down the second. Frank Bowen will go over to first. And that'll end the inning, folks. Yeah. You can't go wrong with either one of those guys, that's for sure, Beatles. I like Michael Jack Smith, too. Yeah. We go to the top of the 7th. Thomas, Joe Adcock, and Joe Torres due up here. Can the Braves do some more damage here in the 7th and get CURT out of this game, folks? They're down by 3 again to do that unearned run in the 6th. Here's the pitch to Frank. And that's a fly ball, and Joe Adcox is up. I'm sorry, not Frank. So it's Adcock, Torrey, and McMillan. And that's a fly ball in the left field. Stan's got it. 1 out. That'll bring up Joe Torrey now. Joe is 0 for 2. See if he can get off the snide here. And he sure does. He squares this ball up, folks. And hits that ball in the gap in right field. James goes over and gets it after it hits off the wall. And Joe's standing up down there at second with a double. Okay, Beatles. Looking forward to seeing your game later, bud. So we got McMillan up now with Joe Torres down at second. Here's the pitch to Mac. And that ball squared up, and all of a sudden CURT's still running into trouble. This might be it for him. And that ball is hit down the left field. And in the left center field gap, Joe will score. And just like that, folks, it's 6-4. And the Braves are going to bring out a pitch hitter here for Bob. And they're going to bring out Lee May. Well, maybe not Lee May. I might have spoke too soon. I think they're going to bring on old Felix. Felix is going to come out here and pitch hit. Bring the cat out. Let the cat out of the bag. And I think the Cardinals are going to counter, and they're going to take CURT out of the game here. That's 2 innings now. He's been hit around pretty good. See who they're going to bring in here. The pitch to the cat. They're going to bring on Mr. Anderson. Craig Anderson's going to come in here to pitch to the cat. And do the Braves make another move and bring Lee May out to pitch hit for the cat? Or are they going to let him bat here? I think they're going to let him bat here. See if the cat can drive in McMillan from second. And he does, folks. He wraps that ball in the right field, and cat comes through. He's purring down the first. And just like that, the Braves are on the scoreboard again here in the 7th. And it is 6-5. We got a one-run game, folks. That brings up the top of the order with only 1 out, with Felix down at first. Here's Gino, 1 for 3. And that's going to be ball 4. And all of a sudden, the wheels have come out of the Cardinals' cart. Brings up Frank Bolin now. Can Frank keep this game going and bring up the big boys? He's 1 for 3. And believe it or not, Anderson cannot find the plate, folks. He just walked Frank Bolin below the bases. The Cardinals are going to get somebody else up now. They're getting Ernie up in the bullpen. They go out and talk to him, tell him, man, what the hell you think you're doing? You just bring off the big boys now with the bases loaded in a one-run game. That brings up Matthews. Can he be the big hero here today? And he sure can be, folks. That ball is hit into the right field gap. That'll clear the bases. Eddie Matthews with a 3 RBI double, folks. And just like that, the Braves are up 8-6. Anderson was not the answer, that's for sure. Sure. Mr. Anderson. He needed some matrix air. Crazy is right, Tim. Sure. The Braves, all of a sudden, the power company came on in the 5th. But they need somebody to hold them. That's the problem. Here comes Henry Hank Aaron. See if Anderson can get him. If he can't get him, I'll look for him to bring Ernie in. Here's the pitch to Hank. That's a fly ball in the left field. Is that going to be deep enough to get Matthews over the third? No. That'll be the 2nd out, folks. It brings up Frank Thomas now with Matthews down at second and 2 outs now. See if Frank can come up with a 2-out base hit. Nope, he pops this up behind home plate. No, behind third base. Sorry about that. Ken Boyer makes the call in foul territory, and that ends the inning. But the Braves score 5 on that big 3 RBI double. We get to the 7th inning stretch, folks. Now, who's the Braves going to call in here in the 7th inning? Raymond didn't pitch very good. And in the 9th inning of the previous game, he didn't get a single solo out. Probably going to go to Carl. See if Carl Wiley can come in and do the job. Get him through the 7th at least, maybe into the 9th. So Carl Wiley's coming in. He'll be facing the man, Stan James and McCarver here in the 7th with a 2-run lead. So here's the pitch to Stan Musial. He's 0 for 3, folks. And he's 0 for 4 as he pops that ball up. Joe Torres goes back near the screen, makes the play, 1 out. That brings up Charlie James now, who is 0 for 3. And he hits that ball down to Frank Bowen. Easy play for Frank, over to Adcock. Quick 2 outs, just what the Braves was looking for. But here comes the man of this series so far for the Cardinals. He's 2 for 3 with a double. That's Tim McCarver. And that's going to be ball 1, 1-0 count on Tim. And finally, they get him out. That ball's hit down to Joe Adcock. He'll take it himself. And that's a 1-2-3-7th, folks. We go to the top of the 8th. Braves 8, Cardinals 6. We got Adcock, Torrey, and McMillan due up. And let's see if the Cardinals get in any trouble here. That'll be it for Anderson. He's due up 3rd, so we might see a double switch with McCarver, even though McCarver's hitting the cover off the ball. So here's the pitch to Joe Adcock. And that ball is deep. That ball is back. We left him in one batter too long, and that's 2 home runs on the day by Joe Adcock. Joe Adcock lighting it up. He's 3 for 4. 2 home runs. And that'll be it for Mr. Anderson. So we're going to do a double switch here. Cardinals got 2 catchers on the bench. They got the left hitting and a right-hander. Let's see who's pitching right now. You got Wiley, the right-hander, pitching. And they just increased this lead to a 3-run lead. Wiley is due up. So I think they're going to go with the lefty. Bring in the lefty and do that. So he'll come in to bat 9th. And he'll bat in the catcher spot. Okay. So Ernie will come in and he'll bat in the 6th hole where McCarver was. And we'll go to the bench here. And Carl will come in here and he'll bat in the 9 hole and he'll do the catching. All righty. Bigelow will be facing Torrey, McMillan, and Wiley. Well, there'll be a pitch hitter for Wiley. So here's the pitch to Joe. And that is squared up. These Cardinals cannot get a single guy out, folks. Joe Torres blasts that down the left field line. Stan the man, he's on his high horse running after it. He finally gets to it. Joe Torres is rounding 2nd, heading to 3rd, and he's in there with a slide and the tags late. Joe Torres with the triple, folks. How about that for a catcher? Joe standing down at 3rd with nobody out. And that'll bring the infield in for McMillan. Here's the pitch to Mac. And that ball is hit in, I think, center field. Hit it in the right field. Sorry about that. And that'll score a run. And the hits just keep coming. We're on the top 50, folks. That'll be it for Carl Wiley. He'll come out of the game. Don will come in to pitch the 9th inning, or the 8th and 9th inning. And let's see here. Lee May, I think, is going to pitch hit this time. So here comes Lee May in to pitch for Carl. You know what? Let's let Bob Boyle. Bob Boyle come in. He's a lefty. Let him pitch hit here. Get him a plate appearance. I think he's like 1 for 1 for the Braves since he's joined the team. He is. So we got McMillan down at first. Nobody out for Bob Boyle. And that's not what we wanted to see. That ball's hit down the short. Graham's got it. He tosses it over to second, fires it over to first, and that's your 6-4-3 double play, folks. So now there's 2 outs now for Gino. And that ball is hit in the left field, and that'll be the inning. But the Braves score 2 more. And they're up 10-6, good buddy. As we get to the, the bottom of the 8th. Where's Mac at? There's Mac. Come in here and pitch 2 innings. Alrighty, he'll be facing Grams, Lillis, and Soskowski, who came in to take over the catching spot. Here's the pitch to Alex. And that's going to be a slow roller down the short. McMillan's got it, fires over the first, 1 out. Brings up Bob Lillis. He's 2 for 2 today, folks. Having a good game. Can Don get him out for the first time today? He sure can. That's a swing and a miss, strike 3. That's quick 2 outs. Here's Carl up for the first time today after coming in for McCarver. And that's going to be, I think, a base on balls. Yep. Carl earns himself a walk. Not what you want with a 4-run lead. That brings up Warwick, who's 2 for 4, the man of the hour, with a home run for the Cardinals. And that's going to be popped up. Matthews calls everybody off, makes the play. Cardinals strand 1. We go to the top of the 9th. It's 10-6 Braves. We got Frank Bowen, Matthews, and Aaron due up here in the 9th. Here's the pitch to Frank. And that's out base on balls. These Cardinals relievers sure haven't done much since they've been in the game, that's for sure. Yeah, you don't see many triples in the 50s and 60s, do you? Yep. Here's Eddie Matthews. He's 3 for 4, folks. A double and 4 RBIs. And that ball is hit back to the mound, I believe. Yes, it is. No, it's not. Sorry, he's got the Y factor. That's a swing and a miss. He strikes Matthews out. That's 1 down here in the 9th. Brings up Hank Aaron. Hank's 1 for 4. And he lifts that ball in the right field. James has got it. That's a 2 outs now. With Frank still down there at first for Frank Thomas. See if the Frank and Frank show can do something. Get some Frank and beans going. And that's going to be a ball hit down the first. Bill White's got it. He tosses it over to Ernie covering. And that ends the inning. We go to the bottom of the 9th. Cardinals need 4 runs to tie, folks. They got the heart of the lineup due up White, Boyer, and Musial. See what happens here in the 9th. And that ball is hit down the second. Frank Bowen's up with it. Fires over to Joe. 1 down. Brings up Ken Boyer now. He's 1 for 3 and walk. And that's going to be a pop up in the infield. Again, Matthews calls everybody off. Makes the catch. Quick 2 outs. Cardinals are down to the last man. And that is the man. It's Stan the man. And that ball's lifted in the left field. Frank Thomas is going after it. Runs it down. Makes the catch. And that's your ball game, folks. What a problem it was here in St. Louis. Braves demolished the Cardinals relievers. Let's take a look at the box score. Curt Simmons was cruising through the 6th inning and then ran into problems. And the bullpen didn't do him any favors. The Braves 10 runs on 14 hits and an error. The Cardinals 6 runs on 9 hits and an error. What a comeback is right, Tim. Crazy. The only guy that didn't have a hit for the Braves besides Bob BUHL was Frank Thomas. Everybody else had at least 1 hit, and the man of the hour was Mr. Eddie Matthews. 3 for 5, 4 RBIs, and that key 3-run double. You had Joe Adcock didn't have a bad game either, going 3 for 4 with 2 home runs. Yeah. Yep, The only problem, they was both solo shots, but still. The Braves only left 4 men on base. They made do every time they got people on. The Cardinals, you had McCarver, who had a good game, and they just had to do that double switch. Took him out. Wasn't because he wasn't playing well. He was 2 for 4. Carl Warwick was 2 for 5 with that home run. And the Cardinals left 7 on. Bob BUHL gets the win. Did not pitch well at all, folks, but he gets to win. 6 innings, 9 hits, 6 runs, 5 of them earned, walked 4, struck out 2, and gave up that home run to Carl. Wiley came in, shut the door for 1 inning, and then Don McMahon came in, 2 innings, and walked 1 and struck out 1. Curt Simmons was just cruising through the 6 innings, and then the 7th inning, he just ran into problems, folks. 9 hits, 5 runs, didn't walk anybody, struck out 3, gave up a home run, and then the bullpen just imploded. They just was terrible. Anderson just 2/3 of an inning, 3 hits, 4 runs, walked 2, gave up a home run, and Bigelow 2 innings, 2 hits, a run, walked 1, and struck out 1. Let's do some fast play here. Yeah, double was crazy is right, like I say. So we got 3 games here in the National League on June 27th yet to play. We got the Reds heading to Chicago to take on the Cubbies. And the Cubs shut out the Reds. 0 runs on 4 hits and an error. The Cubs 4 runs on 8 hits and no errors. Oh, Ellsworth with a complete game shutout. Only a 4-hitter, folks. Give it up for him. You got the Giants traveling to Philadelphia to take on the Phils. And the Giants win a close one. 4 runs on 11 hits and no errors. The Phils 3 runs on 9 hits and 2 errors. And Felipe Alou hit another home run. He was 1 for 1. Must have had a pitch hit home run to win the game. Let's take a look at the box score, folks. Yeah, and in the 8th inning, he came on and hit a solo home run to give the Giants the lead. How about that? That increases his lead, I would imagine, in the National League in home runs. You got the Dodgers traveling to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, too, to take on the Pirates in Pittsburgh. And the Dodgers win in Pittsburgh. 6 runs on 15 hits and 3 errors. The Pirates 4 runs on 7 hits and an error. Let's take a look at the standings here in the National League after June 27th. And the Braves are 4.5 up on the Reds. San Francisco Giants are 5.5 games back. Cardinals fall to 6 games back. Cubs are 8.5 games back. Pirates are 10 games back. The Dodgers 10.5. And the Phillies are 19 games back. Let's look at the National League leaders here. You got George Altman batting .356 along with Norm Lark and Henry's .345. And like I say, Felipe Alou passed Willie with that pitch hit home run. He's got 21 home runs on the year. Orlando Cepeda still leading the league with 66 RBIs. Eddie Matthews is coming on with him with those 4 RBIs today. He's up to 60. The Reds pitching still dominating. Perky and Jay still leading the league with ERA. Warren Spahn's third. Jay and Spahn's tied with 9 wins apiece. And Don's got 15 saves. Roy Face for the Pirates is closing in on him. He's got 10. I want to thank Tim D, Ken Castro, Beatles. Beatles says he's going to be on here later tonight, folks, with the game. So check that out. I believe that's everybody. I know Bernard Strom said he's going to do a game around 7:30. So if you're not doing anything, head over to his channel around 7 or 7:30. And then Legend says he's going to do a game later on the night after Beatles does one. So we got baseball everywhere you turn, folks. So you all have a great evening. Tune into those great channels. Until next time, you all have a great night. Yeah, exactly, Tim. Another game and a half. Oh, you're welcome. You have a good one, bud.